Now, many countries, in fact, almost all countries around the world are urging people to stay indoors as the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic seems to intensify. Now, with that, the use of social media also saw a considerable rise. Now, given their vast popularity, the question is, what can they do, social media as well as messaging apps? What can they do to fight or actually help in the fight against global pandemic? To discuss this very topic, we have Viber's Senior Director for Asia Pacific region, Anubhav Nayyar, joining us live. Good evening, Anubhav. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very well. Thank you.
Now, let's start off with some numbers. I mean, has there been any change in consumer usage from your end? Now, has there been an increase or decrease during this period of pandemic?
Well, actually, there has been a significant increase in excess of 50% across most of our key parameters like messaging, calling, etc. And it doesn't come as a surprise to us. We see that trend across the world as more and more people are adhering to social distancing, staying at home, and wanting to be in touch with their family, friends, and loved ones.
Now, I have to ask you, what is the role as you see it, of messaging apps in actually fighting a global pandemic such as this? What is your role?
Yeah, I think there are two very important areas which messaging apps such as Viber can help in. I think there's a lot of information that is sort of going around, and we have worked with various organizations, various bodies, such as the World Health Organization at the global level, and also with the Health Bureau in Sri Lanka, to ensure that we provide an official channel which can provide authentic and trustworthy information. So it provides all users out there, everybody in Sri Lanka, the opportunity to get access to a source that is completely trustworthy and is not really a rumor. And at the same time, while this is happening, we also want to ensure that we're providing a very fast, reliable experience where we can connect multiple people together.
Now, you spoke about reliability and connecting multiple people. Now, one of the things experienced, one of the adverse effects experienced during this pandemic, let's talk about Sri Lanka. We've had a lot of misinformation, and the government is trying to crack down on that. So what is Viber doing to mitigate the circulation of misinformation? Is Viber screening user content by any at all?
It's difficult for Viber to screen user content because it's end-to-end encrypted. But I think one of the challenges, or rather one of the advantages that Viber has, is that it's not really a broadcasting platform like other social media. So we don't see too many challenges happening for us. But what we have done from our side is, when we're working with the Health Bureau, we have aggressively pushed from our side also and sent out a message to all our users, asking them all to follow that community, because that will probably be the most trustworthy source of information that people can get. And the benefit is that when people do follow that, they can also share the latest updates and any precautions that they need to with their friends and family.
Now, you said you've sent messages to your users, urging them to actually sort of stay clean, as it were, right? But is that really effective? I mean, you're placing a lot of faith on your consumer base to actually keep the content clean when it comes to misinformation.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually seen some fantastic numbers over the course of, I would say, maybe the last 8 to 10 days. We've have in excess of 310,000 members already only in Sri Lanka. And that's a big number, because these are the people who have subscribed. And what that means is that these 310,000 people will also be sharing information that they see on this community with their friends and family. And therefore, this number actually goes into millions, if you think about it. So I think at this time, we've seen that people in Sri Lanka also are being fairly responsible. And we've seen that when we send this message across to a lot of users, a lot of people have chosen to subscribe to it, which is a very, very good sign for the country also.
Okay. Now, Viber recently has been actively working across many local government organizations like HBP and maybe WHO as well. Now, can you elaborate on the partnerships and how do they work? I mean, what's the process?
Yeah. So I think, like I said, the central part of all these partnerships is to ensure that we're providing trustworthy and reliable information. It's not us who's providing it, but the local designated body or the World Health Organization. Viber's responsibility is of being a platform. So in some cases, we have a community. Even in Sri Lanka, we have one in partnership with the government body. And what that community does is that everybody in Sri Lanka can follow that community, join that community, and get the latest updates. But in addition to that, what we've also done, say, with the World Health Organization is to launch a bot, which provides not only the latest information, but provides a complete list of myths and realities, just predominantly driving consumer education in an interesting way so that people are realize that what is true and what may just not be very, very true.
Well, Anubhav, that's all the time we have, unfortunately, but thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.